Hello guys, it's Vishal here today, and I would. This is like my third day, and I would like to review a game I played sometime earlier today, and I played black and I played normal Sicilian, and I would also like to thank, I might mispronounce this, Kesa's Dreams. She's also a chess player. She actually commented on one of my videos and suggested something. That's really nice of her. So if in the future, if somebody is watching this other than her, just go check her channel out too. So yeah. So this game, my rating right now for Blitz is 980, and I was playing against someone who was rated 1033. So I played black, and as I said, I played normal Sicilian. So first he played. I think he wanted to play Queen's Gambit, which would open up on the next. But I played Sicilian, which is a good thing to go against the Queen's Gambit, as I heard other people talk about. He takes pawn, and then I advance queen's pawn forward, and then I will probably try to open this line so I could take the pawn. But in the future, he actually tries to support it. So he brings queen forward. This is kind of awkward, but I could see that he's trying to be as aggressive as possible here. For example, this guy's locked in there, and this pawn's also threatened, so that's a danger for me. And then he plays e6. I play e6, so I can go for this pawn, but right now his queen's supporting it. So my goal right here would probably be to do something else. For example, I might even bring this pawn out, or maybe I was even planning on bringing queen out, and that is what I did. So on the next move, he played pawn forward, trying to guard the queen and also blocking this side. And he might probably go forward after playing knight f3. So I played queen to c7, and this gave me new options. For example, I can attack this pawn unless he guards it in the next move. He backs it up with something, or I can also go here, check, and also go for it right away. I think I should have done that first, but I kind of forgot it in that game. I was just playing casually. This was like my 15th game I was playing that day. So he guards it, and that kind of made me mad, but I've been as aggressive as possible because my chess teacher told me to play as aggressive as possible because he says I was quite passive. I was a passive player. So I played aggressive here, and he took my pawn, and then I took with queen. And now I checked him straight, and it was a double attack. So obviously we know he played bishop, and then I took the pawn on c5. And then he took with his queen, and then I took with my bishop. And now I'm also focusing on this line because I have a free rook, if you can see there. And I was also told my teacher's a Russian teacher, and he's a good teacher. But I heard my friends, I watched like YouTube videos, and I watched like when Russian like grandmasters play, they always repeat moves for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's something that they just like doing. So that's what I do in the future, and I realize why they do that. So now, next move, he checks with the bishop, and I play that because I don't want to move my knight out, and my pawn will be misplaced. I don't like that. I like my pawn to be towards the side because I can just move my rook like real fast and advance in the future. So we trade equally. And another thing, I think that some of you might say that you should have only traded your knight for a bishop. A bishop's better than a knight. Some people might say that, but I just wanted to keep my position as good as possible. I'm more of a positional guy. So he plays knight to f3, and I respond with f6. Now he castles, I also castle, and now I'm also planning to move this knight out of here and also advance this pawn forward. And I want him to move that pawn out because I want to maybe try to get that area in somehow into that place. But who cares? Now we can see that he plays bishop to c to c3, and I know why I did this. As I told you before, I wanted to get that rook, but now it's guarded, so there's nothing I can do. And I also expect him to play that move as soon as possible, because he would obviously want to advance it, at least get it to here. So the next move I play is a4, rook to a6, and this might seem awkward, but what I was trying to do here is I wanted to guard this pawn, and also to start advancing this pawn forward. So right here he plays pawn forward, and as I told you guys, I realized that he was going to do that move because he would obviously want to advance right now. So then I play knight e4, and this is something which really opens everything up and caused me to get ahead 3 points of him, which means I took one of his, I think I took his bishop for free. So he plays knight there, and I think I actually trade right here. Yeah, I trade, and then he takes with bishop. Now that just gave me an idea. I planned on somehow getting this pawn out of there and maybe checking the king, and then no, I planned on first getting these 2 pawns out of the place, so I would move bishop there, and that's check. He would have to go back, and then I would use the knight, check him, and then try to also get the bishop, but it takes quite a long time. So, but that's what happens. I'll just give a spoiler alert. So right here, I actually want to stop that pawn. I'm starting to get scared, so I move my rook to a8 so I can trade right there, but he can also do some other thing like that. So he plays pawn forward, and this is what I wanted him to do. As I told you before, I wanted this line open, and guess what I did? I played bishop takes on e3. That was a free pawn, so he's in check, and he has to go back. Now I play check again. Now he has to come here. Now guess what? I repeated check. He has to go away. Free bishop. So I want you guys to learn that from this video, that you can repeat and it's never a problem. So now he plays knight c3. He's kind of like annoyed right now probably, because he wants to really save this pawn and at least try to advance it. So he might probably do something like that. And I was also planning, if he does something like that, I might move rook there and give up on that pawn. Like, just let this do the job and just try to checkmate him right away with these 3 pieces. But I pin him. I pin his knight to his rook. I just discovered that. I pin him. And then he plays here. I just go for the trade because I wanted the pawn. I really wanted the pawn. So I take the pawn. He plays forward, and now we can all see that I'll clearly win this game unless I play some terrible blunder. So right there, I start advancing pawn. He blocks it. I advance it again. He blocks again. And then this time I want to go for a trade. So if he does take this, I would go for rook, and then he go back for a rook, and I was just planning. I wasn't exactly clear. He took my rook, I took his rook, and then it was a check. I didn't realize that, so he can't take my pawn. I saved my pawn from that. He goes there, I move my rook, and then he checks. I move my king away, and then it's g4, check again, and then he moves king forward, and then I moved back. He moves pawn forward, attacking my 2 pawns, and he wants to get clear of this, but I fortunately see a double attack. I check him. I mean a fork, my fault. Take the pawn for free, and he resigns. And that's what I would like to highlight in this game, is the part where I repeat it continuously. So that's why when I normally play, guys, I sometimes do this if I'm going for something like a rook or a bishop, not for a knight. But look, you should never open up this square, because when things like a bishop and a knight are beside you, because it's extremely dangerous, and he wasn't guarding this pawn. He should have at least moved his rook first, then he should have moved this pawn. So let's see that again. So right there, he plays this in the game, and then I check, and I think rather than losing like something like Rook, I think what he did was right. He just had a bad game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, thank you to I forgot Cash. Wait a second. Castia's Dreams. She was such a great person to respond. And yeah, thank you for watching and have a great day, guys.